up, sports fans? It's your man D back. Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. All right, check it out, everybody. This is the first day of Speak Your Mind Sports Talk Daily Live. So we're gonna be doing this every day, same time, every day, Monday through Friday, noontime. We're gonna do a live. We're gonna do a live talking about sports, predominantly right now, boxing, guys. Got a lot of plans. This is going to be like a daily show. So as we go along, things are going to get better. Probably some little effects and such. And, as we grow, we're going to have giveaways and all. But this is going to be the basis of Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. Of course, I'm going to still be doing videos and Power to Mind and gaming and all of that. But this is going to be the base of what we do here. But anyway, today's topic is, where's my phone too? I don't know what is going on with YouTube, man, but YouTube is crazy right now. No one's getting notifications. None of my notifications are going out. It's insane what's going on right now. But anyway, today I want to talk about 5 fights that we could possibly get in 2020 this year with boxing coming back, but 5 good fights though. Yeah, y'all know what I mean? Like, there's fights that we want. There's plenty of fights that we want as fans. There's plenty of fights that we feel like should have been happened. I want to talk about 5 fights that we could potentially get where this, with boxing coming back in 2020, 5 decent fights. You know what I mean? Tara, what's good? Loma Lopez back for September, no crowd. Yeah, I heard about that. We get into that a little bit later. Mr. Spooks, what's good with your fam? Appreciate you coming through. Augustine Road, what's up, Augustine? Iceman in the building. Queen Lisa in the building. What's up, Lisa? So yeah, I heard about that turn, and I'm glad to hear that. You know what I mean? Because Teofimo was pissed. That's the thing. Like, these people talking crazy about Teofimo, and I want to get back to the topic. I don't want to get off the topic too much, but the kid was upset that he couldn't get the fight. He told Bob Arum, fuck the tune-ups. Let's get it in. You know what I mean? So this is not a kid that wants to duck anything or get away from anything. This is a kid that wants to fight. He wants to prove himself. Chin Smoke in the building. What's good, Chin Smoke? Appreciate you. Salute D Jefferson at work listening in though. Okay, all right, no problem. I'll try to keep the cussing down. That's what's up, Lisa Bales. I'm glad to hear that, sis. My man, Unbiased Boxing Talk in the building. What's good with you, Unbiased? My blood brother K Harvey in the building. What's good with you? What's good with you, fam? Appreciate you coming through. All right, check this out, guys. Unbiased or anybody else, I'm getting ready to drop the link. I'm only gonna have 3 people max on the panel today. I'm gonna do things a little differently, but still, anybody's welcome to come up as usual. Y'all know how that goes. But I'm gonna start limiting the amount of people that comes on the panel, especially when we do this show. Like I said, guys, this is the first show, and I'm glad all of you guys are here for this first live stream. But this is something new, and I put a schedule in the community post, right? So you guys can see the new schedule for Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. So if y'all go to the community post, y'all can see that. But this show is going to happen on a daily basis every day at 12 o'clock. Good thing about it is it may not always be interactive, and y'all might not be able to jump on the panel, but I can always have this show at 12 o'clock no matter where I'm at. Hell, I could do it from my phone if I need to. So y'all can count on this 12 o'clock every day. Lewis Sports Network in the building. My brother in that basketball thing every day at 12 o'clock, Lewis. We're going to be right here. Get this smoke in the building. What's up? Any boxer of worth to broadcast is taking the tune-up. You know what? That's a good point, Smoke. Hey, you can come up here too, Smoke. I just put the link in the chat, but that's a really good point, dog. So who we got? You guys,
Harsha,
Harsha.
what's up, man?
What's up, bro? Yeah, I didn't see. Look, this is the thing, Harsha. I get so many people on here, and it's an open community, right? And then
Gotcha.
a lot of times people switch their icons, so I don't never know. But how you doing, brother? How you doing?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
Oh, I'm great, man. Just
Awesome.
gonna talk a little boxing here real quick. Let me shout out my man K Harvey in the building. Keep up the good work. I appreciate that, fam.
Shout out, brother.
All the super chat. So check this out, Harsha. This is what we're gonna do. Since you the first on the panel, Raider from LA, what's up? This is what we're discussing today. Now, I'm discussing 5 fights to bring boxing back that we can potentially get in 2020, because there's a lot of fights that we want to see. There's a lot of fights that the fans are demanding, but everybody knows we're not getting those fucking fights. You know what I mean? So like Joshua Fury, that shit ain't happening in 2020.
No.
You know what I mean? Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, that ain't happening in 2020.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So there's certain fights we know that's not going to happen, but I picked these particular fights, and if you guys in the chat or Harsha, you have a fight, we can discuss those too. But I want to start with this fight. I think that we could get this fight in 2020. It's a good fight, and it's an implication for both of these guys because they both lost to Jermell Charlo. They both want to crack back at that title. And Erickson Lubin versus Tony Harrison is a good matchup. Now, Erickson Lubin came out and he was saying something about fighting Tony Harrison. And then the winner gets the rematch with Charlo. Now, Mauricio Suleiman has actually jumped into the pot with that. And he said something similar. So give me your thoughts on this fight. Like, who you think would win? I think this is a fight we could potentially get. What do you think about that?
I think Eric got a great chance at winning the fight. He's got big hands, right? His right hand is crazy. I mean, like, he literally fell short of Charlo, but come on, like, when you compare with the best of the peers, like, he's got the right hand, like, I'll go with Eric Lubin for this one. And when you talk about Charlie rematch, like, I guess Charlo's gonna win it again, like, just like last time. I mean, like, as you were suggesting, like, with WBC and everything, like, now that they got different gig with the franchise belt, they got better options for all the promoters to maneuver, like, whichever fights they want to protect the fighters. Like, it's just the situation we are in. Like, we ain't never gonna get the fights that fans really want to see, but it is what it is with the PBC situation. Too bad, like, there are so many great fighters around, but they ain't gonna happen. But the fight that you're discussing about, I'll go with Eric Lubin for sure, man, all day.
Eric Lubin. Okay, I think I agree with you on that. I think the hammer takes out Harrison too, and I'll explain that. Let me see. Get This Smoke says 7 days a week, or just no. The schedule is on in the community post, Smoke, but it's 5 days. It's Monday through Friday. We're gonna have Speak Your Mind Sports Talk Daily Live, okay? And then I got other things scheduled too, but this is scheduled Monday through Friday. So you guys know, I don't care if it ain't nobody live. Fuck you, just waking up, you at work, you don't have nothing to do. We can always tune in, and there'll be some boxing talk here. So Smoke. Boxing Algarete in the building. What's good with you, fam? Appreciate you coming through. Raider, I think I shouted you out, but what's up again? Jackal Davis just stepped up in here. Sporting Advantage, my man. What's up with you? All right, so I agree with you, Harshal. I think that Erickson the Hammer Lubin wins this fight too. I think Tony Harrison days were numbered, and not only were they numbered, once Charlo put him out there, because Tony's had some tough fights. He's a really good boxer, like straight up boxer. Don't get me wrong. But
the irony is he's a great boxer. When you compare with the rest of the bunch, I would say he was in the top 2 for super welterweight. But the irony is he could never take a punch like the rest of them. Like when he was caught once, that's it, lights out.
That's a fact. That's a fact. He had a very suspect chin. So I think the fact that he does have a suspect chin, and Erickson Lubin is not the same Erickson Lubin that we got back when Charlo knocked him out, guys. He was green. He needed more time. He shouldn't have took that fight. And Erickson Lubin himself said he shouldn't have took that fight. And he's improved since then. And I think that he gets in there and he sparks Tony Harrison. So I'm going to agree with Harsha. I think that Lubin wins this fight. I think it's a great fight. I do. Tony Harrison's a good boxer. Let's not get it twisted. If Lubin can't land that punch, can we say how boxes Harrison? Maybe not. Maybe Harrison gets to win by decision. So it's a good fight. But I do think Lubin gets the job done. And I think that this is a fight that we could definitely get in 2020. This is not one of these big fights that's hard to make. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're both with PBC, so it's just a straight bummer.
Right. Easy peasy. Charles D in the building. What's good with you? My man IBT in the building. What's up, IBT? Toby Bartlett done stepped up in here. He said, what's up, D, in the chat? You know, wash the hands. That's right. Social distance and elbow cough. I hear you, fam. All right, so the link, I'll drop that link in the chat in case anybody want to come join Harsha and I and talking about these potential fights. And you guys give us your thoughts in the chat too. I'm going to try to make sure that I keep up with the chat. I'm looking at you guys' comments right now. You just saluting each other, and I do appreciate that. All right, so we don't really have much of a discussion on this, Harsha. We both agree on it. We both see it pretty much the same way.
Straightforward. Probably Harrison might outbox him for 6-7 rounds unless he get clipped. It's gonna happen anytime soon. Maybe in the later rounds. Like, he ain't gonna keep the smoke forever.
Right. I agree. All right. So let's move on to the next fight. Didn't spend much time on that one.
Yeah.
Okay. So Caleb Plant, Daniel Jacobs. All right, guys. Now, this fight can definitely happen. Daniel Jacobs don't have a damn thing to do. Caleb Plant begging for Canelo again when he already blew his chances. You know, he's still, I would say, probably in the lottery pick since GGG stepped out and Canelo doesn't have anything to do.
Exactly.
He's probably still in that mix, but there's no guarantee. So everybody knows getting a fight with Canelo is not the easiest thing to do. So let's talk about an easier fight, one that we could possibly get in 2020. And I think that's a very good fight, Daniel Jacobs, Caleb Plant. So do you think, Harsha, we could potentially get this fight in 2020?
It's tough to say with PBC, you know, like there have been several instances where you feel like there's a potential fight with cross promotion, but if you see a Jacobs profile, like he's a premium fighter for DAZN, and it's the same with Caleb Plant. It's the budding fighter for Fox. Unless someone's gonna step down, you know, like to yield for someone, that fight ain't gonna happen. It's the same with Caleb, you know, like he was offered Canelo fight, and because of short training period and stuff like that for recovery, he ain't gonna take the fight because he's protected like the rest of them, you know, like they want to protect but hypothetical, I don't think that fight's gonna happen anytime soon. I think Jacobs might fight someone from Liverpool, UK. What's his name? Callum Smith, perhaps. That's his straight chance, you know, someone from Aston stable. But hypothetically, if you assume that fight's gonna happen, I'll go with Caleb Plant for sure, because Daniel Jacobs with last fight with Chavez, I see that he's a small guy. No, he ain't the big bully anymore in middleweight division.
Right.
If he steps up to super middleweight, he's a small guy. And Caleb, you know, like I believe he's a much better boxer than Danny Jacobs, and he got much more to prove. That's for sure. But right now, based on winning streaks and momentum, I'll go with Caleb Plant. He's an amazing boxer. I just want to add that, you know, what would be an amazing fight of boxing?
What's that?
Between Billy Joe and Caleb Plant. That would be hell of a chess match.
I would love to see that. I would love to see
that. It's like
Matrix. Let me give a shout out right quick, Harshal. Actual Facts, Angel Santos in the building. What's good with you, Angel Santos? Appreciate you, my man. And Black Horseman in the building, UGC Flame with the super chat. Hey, Black, I just put the if you got time, bro, click that link right quick. I want to say something real quick, guys. I'm gonna pause this show for a second. Black, if you got time, click that link. If not, don't worry about it. You'll still hear what I'm getting ready to say. It's all relevant. Let me tell y'all guys something. This right here shows you, bro, where people's mindsets are. Okay. Yeah. I got about 10 DMs last night. 10 DMs, emails, and everything. This idiot, again, Monty Brown TV. He goes on some fucking rant. He puts up some stupid video about me and Black, you know, we stand up on your own to this black horseman son you and all of this. Let me tell you how retarded this dude is. And this shows it right here. This is a motherfucker who understands that his group, the LDBC, is clearly breaking down from the inside out. This is a motherfucker who's upset with his life, who has nothing to do with himself. And this is a motherfucker that wants to divide guys that are already united. See, we can have a debate and chill.
Yeah.
And then this is proof of it. This motherfucker just came here and dropped a super chat. Monty Brown, you idiot. You fucking idiot, bro. Your brain is just as crippled as your fucking legs. It don't work. Yeah. You fucking moron.
Sick sucker.
Yeah. And I appreciate Black because see, this is what happens on YouTube. Dumbasses like him put a stupid video out like that, right? It's called suggestive journalism, guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Because the only thing he did was he took clips of that whole live that me and Black was on. He took little clips, he built a narrative around those little clips, and he made a story up. But that ain't even really how it went. And all of them dumbasses on his fucking channel commenting to it, feeding into that shit. Y'all bought it. You idiots. Y'all bought the story that he sold y'all. But it's just a story because this right here shows you this is that real nigga shit. We can have a debate and it ain't even all about no bullshit, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Hell no. It's never about nothing outside of YouTube. If we get a hot debate on YouTube, I keep it on YouTube, but this is my brother. So I'm always come back and show support. DA never, you know what I'm saying, done anything personally wrong to me. Some people was just, like I said before, D, we just move different than a lot of other people.
Yep.
You know, it's crazy that you telling me that because it still shows that they got to get content from us.
Exactly.
They got to steal content from us and put up content and make whatever narrative. It don't matter, bro. We doing our thing. This is my brother. It don't matter if the debate was heated. It don't matter, man. Like I'm gonna still come through and show support, whether I'm on the live stream, whether I'm in the chat, or I just drop a donation and keep it moving because I got other things going on in my life. But other niggas don't have shit going on in their life. And they think the world is just YouTube and drama. And that's why I don't really go live as much anymore because I'm tired of the stupid shit. It's just stupid shit that be going on. But
it is.
I'd rather just sit back and support my brothers and create content, man.
It's so stupid, bro. Because here's the thing. Just like Black just said, it shows you that this idiot needs us for content, bro. Look, here's the reality of it. He can get up on his live and talk all the shit that he want to talk. Okay, he makes a video. Like I said, guys, suggestive journalism. Because if you go watch the whole live and you watch that stupid little video he put out, it's nothing like the context that he put it in. But whatever. But look, it shows you how he's trying to divide guys from the inside out. You understand? I'm gonna tell you. I'm explaining this to you guys. In this same video, he says that Black Horseman D, stand up on your own too, man. Don't let him do you like that. Don't let him talk you out. Be a man. Stand up. You letting Black Horseman son you. You letting Black Horseman disrespect you. Look, in the same fucking video, he says, Black man, you should be ashamed of yourself. You jealous of that man, D. Jefferson. You stupid fuck. You sitting here showing everybody that you trying to cause a rift between us. Why?
I'm not going to donate to it. I mean,
fucked up because they can't get along now and they breaking down.
Yeah,
that's the shit. And if people feed into these videos and fall for that shit, then start going back and forth with each other, then he won. This is why I don't do these back and forth videos with these clowns, bro. And you're proving to me, Monty Brown, that I'm D Jefferson. I just hit over 1,000 subscribers. Dog, you got 4,000 subscribers. Why are you wasting your time making content about my little channel? You idiot. You idiot. Dude, you can look through all of my videos. I don't have one video about you, Monty Brown. I have content that comes from here. My brain. Use yours, you dumb fuck. Now, let's move on. Black Horseman, I just wanted to bring you up here. I appreciate you, bro. Real nigga shit. This is why, you know, cats like us don't let that bullshit affect us. This is why they're breaking down, and real truth will always stand, bro. Black and Brown Boxing. I wasn't ignoring you, bro. I appreciate that super chat, my man.
I'm gonna jump in the chat, D. Keep doing your thing, bro.
All right, I appreciate you, Black. Appreciate you. Black and Brown in the building. Appreciate the $2 super chat. So, guys, back to the topic. I just wanted to put that out there because, as Black call him, Dookie Brown TV, you know, want to get out there and try to cause all of this ruckus and all that dumb shit. Fuck that dude, bro. Anyway, Boxing Monster in the building. What's good with you? John Daly, been a while. My UK brother, what's up with you, John? So, where were we at, Harsha? Daniel Jacobs and Caleb.
Yes, Caleb Plant versus Danny Jacobs.
Right. And so you said that you had Plant winning that one, right?
100%, yeah. Maybe there's a stifle between mid-rounds, but Caleb Plant by unanimous decision for sure.
Right, right. I agree with you again. I think that this is a really close fight, though.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong on this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Daniel Jacobs has the experience. He's definitely fought the better competition, and he doesn't have anything to prove. But I do agree with you where Caleb Plant does have something to prove. So you made a very, very valid point there.
Yes.
I also think that there's not really a problem. I think we disagree a little bit, though. I don't think that there's a problem making this particular fight because even though Plant is PBC, and I do get it, those motherfuckers make it hard to get fights with anyone. This is not a fight where I think they're worried about losing that belt. You see what I mean? When they make these fights difficult, in my opinion, it's because that belt may go away from the PBC.
Yes.
He's going to beat Jacobs. And I think that they're probably comfortable that he'll beat Jacobs. So then, you know, they'll throw him out to a fight. When it's a fight where that belt can be taken out of that organization, then they might be, you know what I mean? So I think that fight can happen. Neither of them really have anything on the plate. Like I said, the only thing Plant has is a hope for the Canelo fight, but you gave that chance up, so you don't get it. That's on you.
No.
But we do agree on the fact that Caleb Plant, I think that Caleb Plant will outbox Jacob.
100%. He's big,
very good movement,
long stance. Yeah,
he's great. He's great. I like the way Plant looks, so I think that he wins that fight too.
And one more thing with the DAZN thing, you know, like it's altogether a different platform, a streaming platform for now. I believe they're going to switch to pay-per-view sooner or later because of Tyson and Anthony Joshua situation. I think that's where they're heading towards. This all monthly subscription, yearly subscription is just, you know, like it's just to con the audience, you know. At the end of the day, when they have this significant subscriber base like ESPN, like they're going to head towards pay-per-view at the end of the day. So this ain't like a regular thing. So for now, like as I suggested, you know, the one more point that you miss is someone got to yield either Caleb Plant or Danny Jacobs to move to a different platform and work for each other. And that's something they need to work on. Like I believe Eddie Hearn is more open to suggestions like that, having Danny Jacobs on Fox platform, but I don't think that's going to happen in the other direction. Like PBC, they're very tight, you know.
Right. Yeah, and I agree. Look, let's welcome Get This Smoke, my man. Get This Smoke up in the building. Martin Ramos out there in the chat. I see you show up, Martin Ramos. Appreciate you. Real quick, guys, I'm gonna try to keep up with y'all chats on these shows because it's interactive, and I want all of you guys to be involved in this. So Angel Santos says, I have Plant winning by split decision against Jacob if he doesn't get touched up by Danny. Yeah, I agree with that. Smoke, welcome to the new Speak Your Mind Sports Talk Live Daily. All right, check it out. Here we go, Smoke.
Yeah, peace, everybody. What's up, fight fans? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are.
Yep, no doubt.
What's up, brother?
So check it out, Smoke. Since you just stepping in the building, right? I'm gonna get you to go ahead and run through both fights. Give us your take on both of these fights, and I'm gonna just let you rock for a second. So the first fight, Smoke, and the topic is these fights. I believe, you know, boxing coming back and everything. I think these are some really pretty good fights that we can actually get without all of the rigmarole. And I want you to give me your opinion on if you think we could get these fights and who would win. You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first fight, and we've already went over this, I'm going to get your thoughts on this, was Erickson Lubin, Tony Harrison. And then the one we were just talking about was Daniel Jacobs and Caleb Plant. So you could go ahead and run with that, Smoke. And
Okay, I'll do the former and then the latter, or the latter than the former. Daniel Jacobs.
Real quick, Smoke, so I don't have to cut you off in the middle.
Yeah,
Shout out to El Jefe in the building. And my man Jose Yepes in the building. What's up, fellas? Appreciate you coming through. All right, Smoke, your floor, bro.
Yeah, so I'll start with the latter and do Jacobs and Plant because I mean both of those fights are real competitive and are good fights.
Right.
But since both you guys were just talking about that, I'll start with that one. Jacobs, I like a lot. He just seems to have a ceiling. Like there's just a gear that I feel like is missing from him. And Caleb Plant, I think he's good, but he has a stamina issue and a level of competition issue. I think that 168, Danny Jacobs, who do you fight? Chavez Jr. on some not going to take a PED test. That's not. Yeah, I'm going to say Jacobs is unproven at 168.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Okay.
So, wow, it's a good fight. It's a good fight. I got Jacobs edging that one out. 7-5 and actually having the best name on his resume in the process. There's got to get two, but yeah, I don't know. He's just not that he's not that well known. And Danny Jacobs been in there with Canelo and Triple G. He's got a couple of Hall of Famers on his resume, even though he lost to both.
I can respect that, bro. I can respect that because he does have the experience. I mean, I could, and he gave Canelo and Triple G a hell of a fight. So you can't do that. So I can respect that. What about the aspect of if we can actually get that fight? But before you answer that, real quick, Smoke, Jose Yepes, and like I said, guys, I'm gonna break in every now and then and keep up with the chat. I'm gonna try to do better to keep up with the chat. Jose says Navarrete is fighting. Jose, the reason I didn't put that fight up here, Jose, and I'll tell you, is because it's a wash, right? I'm trying to find like the good fights that we could actually. That fight with Navarrete is a fucking wash, and nobody in here think Navarrete is going to lose that fight. So my thing, Jose, was not fights that are going to come. Yeah, that fight's going to come. I don't think it's no problem. But is it a better fight than any of these on the list? I seriously doubt it. So stick around, Jose. Stay tuned in because I think you'll agree with me. Navarrete is a wash, and it shouldn't be on the list of these 5 fights. All right, Smoke, it's on you. Do you think we could get that fight or not?
Since both of them fought right before COVID happened,
right.
It shouldn't like the COVID happening shouldn't be the deciding factor. And neither one of those guys are really the top dogs for their respective organizations. They're like, you know, they're bottom of the top tier or maybe top of the second tier kind of thing. So yeah, I think both of them. I think that fight could happen as a good first foot forward. Like it's not really the top dogs that you're looking for to fight, who I think are going to be looking for tune-ups and kind of stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's a fight that could happen. I think it's a fight that could happen. They haven't been off a bunch, and they're not, you know, the most popular guys.
Right. Hey, Smoke, Scott Brown. Shout out to you, Scott Brown. I missed you stepping in the building. Appreciate you coming through. Scott Brown agrees with you, Smoke. Scott Brown says thinks Jacobs would KO Plant. And guys, Look, let me tell you guys something. I kept this, we always get in a lot of back and forth on this panel, which I enjoy. I'm pretty sure you guys enjoy it. Me and Smoke always enjoy it. But I kept this I tried to keep this kind of debate free because these fights are close. So I don't mind Smoke saying Jacobs win. I don't mind Scott saying, and I don't think anybody should, because these are good fights, and that's why I decided to talk about these fights. So good one, Scott Brown. The
only thing is I think some got lost in translation because I picked Plant on points 7-5.
Right. No, I got you. I don't think
Jacobs is cool. He just I'm not seeing his knockouts. I don't think, when's the last person he knocked out? Chavez stopped, but Chavez is a quitter. Like Chavez didn't even start. Chavez just showed up to get a paycheck.
You can't count him for anything.
Devonchenko has not really been knocked out, so maybe you can put that to the side. But was it Selecki or Matarosen? He fought somebody. Was it Selecki?
Selecki.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Selecki. That fight, he was just trying to stand toe to toe and pounding his gloves together, trying to make it a fight. Like, nah, he's not that guy to go and get knockouts.
Facts. I agree with that. Sport Advantage said hard to not favor Jacobs. This would be a great look fight for future Canelo versus Plant. It would if he could get through it. I actually agree with that. Jose says, Navarrete is fighting on the 6th of June. Yeah. He's fighting, but Jose, if you can find somebody in this chat or on the panel that really believes Navarrete is going to lose that fight, then we'll discuss it. But I think it's a foregone conclusion that everybody in this motherfucker know Navarrete is going to knock that motherfucker out. That's one of those foregone conclusions, if you ask me. My man Gun Rights Mafia done slid up in the building. What's up, Gun Rights? He says Lubin, Plant versus Jacobs 50-50. Yeah, all of those fights 50-50. I'm cool with that. That's why I picked them, Gun Rights. Good comment. I think these are close fights again, and I got some more coming, guys. We're gonna discuss them all. We still gotta let Smoke give his other thoughts. I'm just trying to keep.
I got it. No, I got you.
I'm looking through the chat. I want you to go ahead and move on to Lubin and Plant. Give us your thoughts on that. I'm sorry, Lubin Harrison.
Lubin and Harrison. I like Harrison. I like his mouth a little bit more than I like anything else about him. To be honest with you, I think the guy fades. I think he admires his work. I think he thinks he's better than he actually is. I think he was gifted that victory over Charlo. Not that he didn't deserve it. It could have gone either way, but the fact that he got it, I think, was a gift. So yeah. Anyway, Eric Lubinson, fast hands, fast feet, puts punches together in bunches. He's not, he's a little one-dimensional when it comes to the delivery of his shots, but I see him. I see the work rate being a problem for Tony, and that Tony could get stopped in that one. Erickson Lubin, I definitely think wins that fight. I don't know if he stops him or if it's by a UD. I think he UDs him. I don't think Harrison can even get a split decision out of it, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's either one of those things.
Right. Jose, see, here go Jose again, guys. Jose, you my dog. But listen, Jose, keep track with the context here. Yes, I have done research on this, Jose. Do you think Shakur is going to lose that fight? I don't give a fuck. Unless they put him in the ring with Josh Warrington, because who he's fighting hasn't been announced yet. And as a matter of fact, he's supposed to fight on this card that Bob Arum has set for July 2nd. So I agree. But, Jose, who they going to put him in there with? The Warrington fight is not going to happen. I think that was the best thing smoking for him of available fights. Anybody else that gets in the ring with Shakur, he's going to beat him. And this is why I ain't really talking. And I agree, Jose, that we're going to want to see Shakur beat up whoever they put him in the ring against. But we got back and forth fights here that we're talking about. So good call, Jose. Yes, he is fighting, but you know. Yeah, there you go, Jose. Now we're on the same page. He said, yeah, they all tune-ups. Exactly. You got it. Martin Machine in the building. Let's talk this real boxing talk. That's right, fam. That's what we're doing. All right, so I think that we all agree on Lubin, and Plant Jacobs is pretty interesting. It goes back and forth. But Erickson Lubin and Harrison is still a close fight. I don't think that any of us deny that, because either of those guys can win that fight. We still need to see things about Harrison. Man, I am so far behind in the chat. Well, I love this, guys. That means you guys are adding in. Mike R stepped in the building. Plant has faced a fighter in the level of Jacobs. Plant hasn't faced a fighter in the level of Jacobs with speed, experience, and power. Risky fight for Plant for sure. For sure, bro. This is a good testament for him, because this definitely will be the best fight that he's fought his entire career. He doesn't have a name on his resume that surpasses the Jacobs. So, great comment. Carlos in the building. Salute D Jefferson in chat. I'm so far behind, guys. Let me catch up with the chat right quick, guys. Give me a real quick second. Wood TV, what's up with you? Black and Brown says, you think PBC is going to let Jacobs be A-side? I don't think Jacobs will have. No, he's not going to be A-side. Plant got the belt. And Jacobs, like Smoke just said, his last fight was fucking Chavez. Does that warrant A-side? Fuck, no. I don't think that warrants A-side, especially when Chavez just fucking gave in, basically. With Lawrence Williams in the building, what's good with your soccer training club? Done stepped up in here. We get ready to move to the next topic, guys. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. And anybody that's, if I did miss you guys, y'all know I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming through, John Daly. I see you out there. I'm gonna skip some comments, guys. You know, El Jefe.
I just want to say that I think I was gonna say that I think that in the Jacobs Plant fight, both guys represent each other's best win. At this point, Jacob's best one is Peter Quinlan.
Right. Oh yeah. No, I agree with that, Smoke. That's actually a very good fucking point. That they would represent both of their best fights at this point, best wins if they could pull a win. I won't say best fight because
Danny Jacobs got fight
than the Triple G or Canelo fight. You know what I mean? But best wins. I agree totally, Smoke. My man Julius Ring IQ in the building. He said Erickson Lubin may inherit the 154-pound division. Very good point. Very good point, Jay.
Oh, Ring IQ.
Yeah. He could. Because Erickson Lubin, look, guys, let's keep it real. The 154-pound division, there is no far split. There's no guy that sits way above the rest.
No.
These guys are close. All of these champions are close. They can beat each other. So with what Jay is saying right here, Ring IQ, for all you guys, what Ring IQ is saying right here is Erickson Lubin could inherit, because when he lost to Jamel Charlo, he was green. He got clipped. Jamel Charlo has power. He got clipped and he got knocked out. He's more responsible now, more defensively responsible, and that boy got popped himself. They don't call him the Hammer for no reason. There's my beautiful wife trying to slide in the set. But they don't call him Hammer Lubison for no reason. You know what I mean? The dude got popped. So if he gets in there and say go beats up Jamel Charlo in a rematch, who the fuck is gonna stop him? Good point, Ring IQ. Good point. All right, guys, look. Let me see here. I don't want to miss no chat. Lawrence Williams said, playing out boxes, Jacobs. Jacobs don't fight the best Ring IQ. He has a new coach and don't even listen to him. Go back and watch his last couple of fights. Good point. Good point, Lawrence. Unbiased says 154 is a dangerous division. I don't think there will be a guy who will be dominant. Exactly. That's my point exactly, bro. All right, guys. Let's go to the next fight. And great breakdown, Smoke, by the way. All right, guys, so the next fight I got on the table is the other Charlo. Jamal Charlo, Chris Eubanks. Now, the fight, I guess, back and forth, been off the table, on the table, whatever. This fight still ain't dead yet. This is a fight we can get in 2020. And I don't think either guy is afraid of each other.
No. Eubanks battle tested, bro.
Right. I don't think either guy would like be in the round to duck each other. So this is going to be the next fight we're going to discuss, guys. Jamal Charlo, Chris Eubanks, Harsha. Started off, remember, the topic is who wins and what do you think the probability is of this fight happening?
Again, this is a very, very close fight, but on this one, I'll have to go with an edge for Chris Eubanks Jr. just because of his battles with the rest of UK bunches. Groves, Billy Joe Saunders, Avnil, who's the other guy with the IBF belt? The one who retired from UK. What's his name?
Frock?
No, not Frock.
You're talking about DeGale.
DeGale?
Yeah, so, yeah, James DeGale, the guy who gave shot against him. Based on that, like I got to go with Chris Eubank Jr. for sure on this one because Jamal Charlo, as much as he's undefeated, he's untested again. Like he never had any big battles. He's just paring the record to 30-0. I think his best win is against Matteo Carabo, which is one of the best matches I've ever seen with him. Apart from that, I didn't see where he got to struggle or where he got to go to the trenches to get a victory. So on this one, I would go with Chris Eubank Jr. But again, like when you look at the four bunch of PBC guys, Devrichenko, Chris Eubank Jr., Caleb Plant, Jamal Charlo, on any other day, on any other night, anyone could defeat each other. So it's tough to get pinpoint, like this guy's going to win this one. So it could be a round robin, like anyone can win against each other.
Right. Real quick, guys, Unbiased ended off the last one with Plant. Nice, but all movement, he does make him gas mid-rounds. And then also, I just wanted to shout out Brock that just stepped in the building. I got Eubanks on the card. So we're starting this Eubanks thing. Yeah, good breakdown, Harsha. What about the probability of us getting this fight?
I think there's a big chance because PBC likes to do fights in a house, like having their own fighters together. And I think there's a good chance of having these four guys fight against each other at some point in time in the next 2-3 years. Because Eubank, like he's under a lot of pressure, like he ain't got no signature win in his career as of now, to be honest, let's just be honest about that. He got brute strength, brute power. He can never learn boxing. Hopefully with Troy Juniors, maybe he can. But yeah, eventually these guys going to fight against each other. And I think we forgot one elephant in the room with the PBC, Sergey Devrichenko. That guy can box, man. Like he can give a run for money for any of them. Like, the best fantasy fight would be between him and Jamal Charlo. Like that would be one hell of a fight, man. Like that guy, like no one's want to fight him because of his brand value and based on his figures, but he can give hell of a money for anyone.
For sure. I agree with that. Yeah.
And by the way, you got to remember Danny Jacobs got a split decision against him. Like, I just want to give you your thoughts. Imagine that fight's happening with PBC, and probably Sergey would have edged the fight for split decision.
Yeah. Let Smoke, before you go, let me get in the chat because guys, they're putting their bid in. Martin Machine says Charlo puts Eubank to sleep. Okay, Devrichenko will beat Charlo. Yeah, let's stick to the topic. But no. He has a good chance. He has a good chance. Algarete said, I think this fight gets made. I actually give Eubanks Jr. the edge, but won't be surprised if he gets robbed. Yeah. I mean, messing around with the PBC, that is a possibility.
Yeah. My thing is this, look, just compare the resumes between Charlos and Eubanks. Like Eubanks fought the best, best of the worst, I would say. He ain't fought the best, but comparatively, like Eubanks got a best resume. Right. Although he lost the 2 decisions, like he put it out, like he stick it out there. But Jamal, like he never had a chance to prove himself. I mean, like, again, I would blame BBC for that, like there have been a couple of offers from other promoters. Like, I don't know what's going to happen with Batman Al Heyman. Like, those guys are just stuck, man. Like they're just stuck.
Right.
Too bad, they got the best
guys,
talents around, but they never had a chance to prove.
Yeah, Fat Smoke. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Before you go, Smoke, I'm gonna let you get ready to take the floor on this. Before you go, real quick, Gunright said, "I'm interested to see what Roy has done with Eubanks with showing him some skills." I'm interested in seeing that too. My man Wasi Rahman stepped in the building. Junior Mafia. I think Roy's doing a great job. To be honest, I'm interested in seeing how Eubanks does. Go ahead, Smoke. It's on you. What you got?
Yeah, I think you guys are missing the fact that Jamal actually did great work at 154. You're just talking about 160.
Yes.
And actually, Eubank, his work was at 168. But it is a higher.
Yes.
While it is a higher weight class, and he was in there with guys who are accomplished. When he fought them, they weren't very well accomplished. Right?
Yeah.
It was either guys at the end or guys who hadn't established themselves yet.
Yes.
I think that of the two careers, it's actually Jamal who has the better wins. But
you can definitely make an argument
I do think that well, I mean, just in terms of in terms of champions and being a two-way anyway, but that's a separate discussion. Just to look at the fight, the way that the two guys match up. If Eubank can take Charlo's power, then it'll be a very entertaining fight, which I imagine that Charlo will get the edge in, just off of the clean, hard punching, right? I do think it'll be rough and tumble. I think it'll be very competitive, and I actually think that the fight could happen. Also, both guys were fairly active recently, and it was a fight that was already going to happen. And it's probably one of the better. It's one of the better fights out there for Charlo that's makeable.
Yes.
And on the outside, with the politics of boxing being what they are, and also what it seems like Charlo's trying to do with his career. Build his brand and all that stuff. Right. So this seems to be like a really makeable fight, a very probable fight to happen, and a good fight for Charlo to get a victory in a tough, competitive fight that makes him a legitimate 160-pounder.
Yes, I totally agree with you.
Okay.
On the mistaken, he got the best of Josh Groves.
Let me run right quick, guys. Boxing Finesse says Eubank is a problem. He don't listen. That's been his issue from day one. I just hope he's listening to everything from a GOAT, Roy Jones Jr., and doesn't let him down. I agree with that, Boxing Finesse. Hey, guys, out there in the chat, umpires, IBT, whatever, I got one more spot on the panel. If any of you guys want to jump on the panel. I like this discussion. I'm falling way behind in the chat, but that's not really a bad thing. That's because we're having a good discussion. Also, Black and Brown says Charlo KOs Eubanks in 7. Welcome, IBT. I'm gonna get right with you in a second, my man. Let me catch up with the chat right quick. Don't leave. Damn, Unbiased, you just lit out. If anybody wanna step down, that's fine. If not, Unbiased, give me a second. I'll back out and let you guys give y'all thoughts on the next fight. Just wanted to catch up to the chat, make sure I didn't miss anybody stepping in the building, which I did not. I caught YC. All right, guys, we caught up on the chat. So I'm gonna give my breakdown real quick before IBT goes, and then I'm gonna let Unbiased in, and then he can give his breakdown on this fight. I only want 4 on the panel for this. So
I'll be leaving too.
Extend it too long. So my idea on this fight is I agree with both of you guys. I think it's a very makeable fight. Very makeable fight. But Smoke and Unbiased, I think IBT was there as well. We just did a watch party with Charlo. Eubanks and who was it? Smoke. Eubanks and
De Gea?
No, it was
Eubanks and Billy Joe.
Yeah, at BJ.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Smoke stepped down. So who is that I just put? Is that Unbiased? Damn, I don't know what the fuck just happened, guys. Anyway, Smoke stepped down, so
did I?
Oh,
I feel like I'm still here. No, it's Eubank and Billy Joe.
Yeah, with Eubanks and Billy Joe. Okay, that was harsher. Who I got? Intangible. Hold on, Intangible, because Unbiased was next. My bad. All right, so I'm gonna let you in, Intangible. So here's my breakdown, guys. I think that I agree with Harsha and Smoke. This is a very makeable fight. Okay. I don't see a problem with the fight being made. I don't agree that Eubanks wins. I think Charlo sleeps him. But I think it's going to be a very good fight. I just seen Eubanks getting hit by Billy Joe Saunders. I seen him also delivering some shots. The thing is that those shots he was delivering on Joe Saunders, Billy Joe held up to him, right? Charlo has a freaking beard on him. So he's going to eat some of those shots. The question is, can Eubanks eat his shots? Because he's going to get touched. And I don't think he can handle that. I think Charlo's going to put him away. Charlo is not the worst boxer in the world. He's just not doing anything. So I got Charlo winning that fight. I do think it can happen. I'm biased. Go ahead and give your thoughts, and I'm going to let I be Intangible. I be after Unbiased.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. So I can hear you. We're talking about what? Charlo versus Eubanks. I think it'll be a tough fight for Charlo because Eubanks is gonna get in on him, fight him on the inside where Charlo doesn't really fight. Eubanks is rough and rugged. He's like, in my opinion, he has like a Porter-esque style. A lot of people don't want to give him credit, but it's cool. He's a good fighter. I just don't think he beats Charlo because, like D said, the power is something that he's going to respect, or he's going to learn to respect once he starts getting hit. And if you don't have power, in my opinion, Eubanks will not have an issue with getting in on you because that's just the way he fights. He doesn't really, if you're not a power puncher, he won't respect your power and he'll just come in on the inside and make it an ugly fight. But I do think he will respect Charlo's power, and that will be the deciding factor. And, Charlo places his punches well. So I don't know if he knocks him out, but I think Charlo definitely wins.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good analysis. I kind of agree. I think that Eubanks has improved, and I think he will improve under Roy Jones Jr., but I don't know if it's going to be essentially, I don't think it's going to be significant enough of an improvement to beat Charlo. I do think Charlo's like a pretty fundamentally sound boxer with the exception of some things, but he isn't as dynamic as others. But I don't really think that's necessary in this matchup because I don't see Eubanks trying to outbox him. I see him trying to rough him up, like you're saying, almost like Sean Porter, be very physical, go on the fight on the inside, right? And I think he would have the advantage on the inside, but I don't see him having the advantage at mid-range or long range because even though Charlo's jab it's not a lot of mix-ups with it or feints, I don't really think that'll be necessary as much because if he just can fire off a good jab and keep up his pressure from long range, I think he'll be able to win on points.
RBT, you have a different mic.
Yeah, I do.
I see. I think that Charlo should win the fight. I think both guys are pretty basic fighters. Both guys have decent punching power. But I think Charlo's a little bit better at controlling the range. I think that Eubank doesn't really have very fast feet, and I don't think that he's going to get inside of Charlo, but I think they're both going to land on one another because they're both very basic, and they both like to get in exchanges, and Charlo likes to counter and all that kind of stuff. But I think Charlo will beat him on points. I think his timing will be a little bit too much for Eubank, and Eubank is not a very smart fighter. He's just a very physically gifted fighter with solid, hand speed and power. So, I think I'd have to edge Charlo in that one.
And the probability of that fight happening, Intangible. What's your ideas on that?
Let's be honest, man. What really else is there for Jamal Charlo to make? Unless he wants to pull up some journeyman from 147 pounds again. What else is he going to make? That's probably the best fight the PBC can make at 160. Now that Eubank has moved down, honestly, I think that.
Well, they also have Derevyanchenko. I think that's going to be the mandatory. It's called next, and I think that Eubanks is a fun fight, but I think like even if before this COVID thing, if it hadn't happened, I think that fight would be the one that's scheduled. I think it's extremely likely that it occurs.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I mean, look, man. The thing is, like, I just wanted to say this again. Watching Eubanks and that BJS fight, I seen more of him than I gave him credit for. So I will say that. You know, I like the skills he brings to the table. It's just, you know, Roy Jones better be able to transform this kid into a hell of a fighter, or I don't think he's going to have enough to get past Charlo. That's my thing. Like, I think Charlo's going to land 1 or 2 shots, put him in a real hurt locker, and it's going to be night-night for Eubanks. That's just how I see it. Or as Unbiased said, it'll get to a point where it's too much respect for the power, and then, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be the telling factor of the fight. That he won't be able to outbox Charlo because he's going to be too busy staying away. And that could determine the fight. He's not going to win on points if he don't get in there and engage and land shots. And if you're too afraid to be knocked out, then it's less shots you're probably going to be landing. So I don't know, man. It's a good fight, but that's part of the reason, guys, that I put these fights up here, because they're really interesting fights. So with that being said, Alistair 49, I see you in the background. I'm gonna let you give your thoughts on this next fight. So which one we just do? Which one did we just do, guys? Oh, Eubanks Charlo.
I got a question for you, D, really quick before you go.
Yeah, go ahead.
You said that you think Charlo will sleep him or knock him out.
Yeah.
Do you think it'll be like what punch will do it, or why? Like what punch will he do that'll knock him out? Will it be a 10 count or a cold?
TKO. I'm not sure if he'll knock him out cold, but he'll get the fight stopped. I'll just say stop.
I don't think he'll knock him out. I think Eubank has a pretty good chin. Yeah. And I think Eubank has at least decent athleticism with his upper body and being able to slip shots. I think he'll be able to get away from some of Charlo's shots.
Right. Yeah, TKO, IBT. TKO. All right, so check this out, guys. The next fight is the other Charlo. Jason Rosario, Jamal Charlo. Okay. This is the fight. So it's the same principle, guys. Basically, who wins and the probability of this fight happening. Now, here's the thing with the Jason Rosario Charlo fight. Back on January 19th, Jason Rosario and his camp said, no, not going to be a Charlo fight. We just had a tumultuous fight with J-Rock, and we want to get ourselves together, get a tune-up in there, and then maybe fight him. But now, since we have a whole bunch of back-and-forth hoopla, thanks for coming on, IBT. Also, Unbiased, thanks for coming on, giving your thoughts. And Harsha, thank you for coming on, Harsha, giving your thoughts. So, and welcome, Alistair. And so, back on January 19th, they didn't think so, but all of this back and forth here recently, it seems that Jason Rosario and his camp have changed their tune. And it looks like they're interested in the Jamel Charlo fight. Now, this fight is huge for both of these guys. And as we already discussed, the 154-pound division there's not a guy that sits at the top where they say, okay, well, he's the guy to beat. No, all of these guys can beat each other, right? So this fight is massive. It's a great fight. It's a freaking unification match that leads either one of these guys on the road to 4-belt undisputed. This fight, in my opinion, needs to happen. We'll start off with Smoke. No. Better yet, let's start off with Alistair 49, since he's just stepping in the building. And Alistair, this is what we need from you. We need to know who will win this fight and the probability of this fight happening. Do you think it'll happen or not?
I think it will happen for sure, because Jamal Charlo's used to facing this competition. Hey. I mean, I understand this guy just beat J-Rock, Williams. That's cool, but at the same time, that's one fight. And the guy before that, he hasn't really beaten anyone. So I wouldn't even say he's well established I wouldn't even say he's well established enough to really be considered like Jermall Charlo, because Charlo's been beating champions, fight after fight after fight,
All
to
right.
get to where he's at, and this guy just had to win one time to get the belts that he has. So I feel like experience level, it's gonna go to Charlo's advantage, and the possibility of that fight happening, yeah, I see Charlo fighting him. I do, man, but I don't know, man. I don't know if this guy would really hurt Rosario like that, but all I can really say right now is like there's no clear dominant person for that
Right.
fight right now. But yeah, I see Charlo probably, getting the knockout or whatever. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it for now. But I mean, it's a big division. Let's see what happens.
Great breakdown, Alistair. Great breakdown. I appreciate that. Get this smoke. What you think, my man? Jason Rosario, Charlo. What's the probability? Who wins?
The probability of this fight happening coming out of the break without either one of these guys getting a tune-up, I think is about 35%, maybe 40.
Okay.
I think that the fight is a really good fight and could garner a lot of eyes. It could be a very lucrative fight for PBC, but I think it needs some building. Jason Rosario just got the belts. Nobody knows who he was, and he wasn't really that impressive before the J-Rock fight. The issue about picking a winner is Jason Rosario is coming off the fight of his career, in which we saw a version of him that we've never seen before. So it's hard to project what's going to happen next. If he's still the same huge guy that can eat all kinds of leather and still keep coming forward and deliver his shots with power, then that's a long night for Jermall Charlo. But if he reverts to the Jason Rosario that we've seen in the past, I imagine that Charlo has the heart and the determination, the motor, and also the power to edge that fight, even if it's not by knockout. We seen what he did to an Austin Trout. Like, he wasn't knocking him out, and he was trying to knock him out too. I think Jermell turned into less of a headhunter. I feel like in the Harrison rematch, but he still was a little bit one-dimensional. He wasn't telegraphing his shots as much as he was in the Trout fight, but and he was able to get the knockout. But I feel like he was aided in that knockout by Harrison fading. It's just really hard to pick a winner. That Rosario, if he builds on the success that he just had with J-Rock, he might be able to get Maul out of there. It's a fight that I want to see, but I think that it's not a fight that we see next just because Jamel isn't a big enough draw like that. If he was a little bit more of a superstar, then I think the timing would maybe be perfect for him. Just because there's still questions about Rosario, but yeah, if this is the new Rosario, then Jermell has a problem.
Okay. Good breakdown, Smoke. Good breakdown. Intangible, you up, fella?
Before I do my breakdown, let me just ask a question. Was there a rematch clause to J-Rock versus Rosario? I forgot.
No, but before you answer that, let me catch the chat real quick. Jacko Davis says, though my biggest concerns is what the Charlos are doing right now, how fat they might be or could be sleeping at the wheel. Let me say this, Jacko. Half of that I agree with you on. And the half that I agree with you on is Jermall Charlo. But Jermall Charlo's been doing what he's supposed to do. I have to say that about Jermell. I can't just couple these two. A while back, Jacko, I was actually coupling these two. I was done with the both of them. But Jermell's, I was done with Jermell for sitting up on that freaking podium crying. You a fighter, bro. That's really why I gave up on him. Like, I was pissed off when he got up there, cried, made excuses, and said, I won that fight and all of this. I don't like to lose. And I didn't really want to support that. But he came back. He won the fight. But if you look at how Jermell's been fighting and what he's been doing and how he's been coming in the ring, Jermell ain't been this overblown, sloppy fighter. he's been looking pretty cut up and defined in between fights. He's not blowing up like Spence and Hurd.
Yeah, the Charlo brothers do not have the Spence problem. They haven't ever been ballooned up in weight or been undisciplined outside. That's not their issue.
I didn't want to, I give the heat where the heat is deserved, but I can't give Jermell Charlo that heat for not being in shape. And he says stupid things between fights and all of this dumb shit. They talk all of that street talk, tough shit. But let's be honest and be real about it, Jackal Davis. What have we seen Jermell get into outside of the ring? We've seen Spence flip a car. We've seen Tank Davis getting all type of shit. We've seen Adrian Broner get in all type of shit. We ain't really seen Jermell get in the shit. We see them talk stupid and say dumb shit, but we don't see him getting fat. We don't see him flipping cars and getting drunk and shit in between fights. So, let's keep the heat where the heat is deserved. And I don't think Jermell Charlo deserves that heat you're giving him. Jamal, you can give him some heat because that motherfucker do need to do shit. I don't agree with Jamal either as far as the blowing up between fights, but you know what I mean? The rest of the heat you give to him. I just wanted to say that. Go ahead, Intangible. It's on you, fam.
No, yeah, I was going to answer. Let me just answer Intangible's question. Yes, they had a rematch clause, and J-Rock said he's not going to take it.
Oh, yeah. He dumped it. So I just said no because the rematch clause didn't matter. But let Intangible give his thoughts on this. I'm going to back out and let Charles D come up and give his thoughts on Charles D. Only this particular fight because I want to keep time savvy. So
now. My personal thoughts on the situation are that the fight will probably not occur immediately. I mean, it's probably going to end up happening in 2026 or maybe after the tune-up fight that Jason Rosario takes. Either or. But I think I agree with Get This Smoke. If Jason Rosario can build off the success he had in the first fight, in the fight with Julian Williams, I think that he's going to be able to potentially beat Jermell Charlo. However, he has not shown that on a consistent basis. But if he can take a lot of those punches and body shots that Julian Williams was taking him, control the range, be able to land a lot of combinations from the outside, show the power that he showed in that first fight, I think he's going to give Jermell hell. And I think he's taller than Jermell.
Yep.
So that's going to be an even bigger problem for him since it's going to be harder for him to be able to mount his attacks from range. So, I mean, I'm pretty inconclusive. I think the fight right now is pretty inconclusive. I right now would slightly favor Jermell because I've not seen Jason Rosario put on those performances consistently, but I think Jason Rosario has a chance.
My turn?
Go ahead.
First off, the only reason you haven't seen him have them turns because he's never had a full training camp. That was the difference on why he beat J-Rock. That was his first full training camp, like dedicated. Just, I got 8-10 weeks. I'm getting busy.
Good point.
What makes you think he can't beat? If he did this with J-Rock, with a full training camp, why can't he do it? And he's long. The dude is what, 6'1", 6 feet?
Yes, 6 feet.
He came into the fight. They was fighting at 54. This boy looked like he was at least a light heavyweight, long as shit, and he's known for power. Not the right Charlo off, but shit, he gonna have his hands full if he gets another full training camp in. And that's why I think his management switched up and said, fuck it, let's unify. Because why not? You just knocked off J-Rock. Give him another full training camp. I like the boys' odds because nobody at 54 right now, they playing hot potato with the titles.
Hey, real quick, Charles, Ring IQ said J-Rock said he had eye surgery. That's why he ain't take it. That I did know. Great point, Ring IQ. Thanks for bringing that information to the table because I didn't even know anything about that.
And I bet you it probably came from one of them goddamn counter overhand rights that he was eating all goddamn night.
Yeah, the training camp, if this is really his first full training camp, then that is actually a really big red flag. There's something screwy going on.
before we go further, Charles D, I got you with the fight, who you think wins, but I need your thoughts too on the probability of it, if you think that it happens or not.
Well, if they both pushing for it, because now all of a sudden Bananas can't change. They was screaming tune up, and now they want to push for unification. Then that means they not scared. They ready for it, and I ain't mad at it. Fuck that, unify.
Mhm.
All right. So good. I think that one's pretty simple. So let me get this straight. None of you guys, all of you guys have Charlo winning, correct?
Yeah, but it's hard to project. Like I actually don't know. I got to see it just because. Like I said, Jason just is looking. He just looked like a completely different fighter in his last fight. So who knows what he's gonna look like in his next fight?
If he's on his, I'm on a full training camp shit. We just saw what he did with J-Rock, but that's besides the fact. The fact that we could get undisputed between them two.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
I just say that Jason Rosario had a good showing versus J-Rock, but that ain't enough to me to say that he's gonna go in there and beat Jamel.
But I'm saying no. I agree with you, but dude, if this was his first full training camp, look what he just did. What his first full training camp.
Allegedly.
If this is exactly. If this is really his first full training camp, then he has horrible handlers.
Yeah, allegedly his first full training camp. That's one thing to keep in mind. And I don't.
But that's one thing. But that's the one thing he also admitted, though, D. That's why he did it the way he did it. Like if you saw that 24/7 or whatever the bullshit was, this nigga was living in a fucked up ass house or some real strict shit. Like,
well, I get all that stuff, but who the fuck has he been hit by? That's my thing.
I mean, let's be honest though.
It doesn't matter. Shit, J-Rock couldn't hit him.
Could that also be because Rosario, hasn't really had much time, in between his fights to have an active training or to have a large training camp? Maybe he's more active earlier on.
J-Rock was having problems missing him. It wasn't that J-Rock couldn't hit him. J-Rock was having problems missing him. It wasn't that. Is that he ate everything J-Rock had and kept coming. And then J-Rock didn't have nothing left.
Right.
And also got knocked down and kind of got up too fast, maybe. Like the stoppage. I think the stoppage was just the way the stoppage happened could have been different. But I think the stoppage was coming no matter what, just because J-Rock didn't have nothing else.
Charles D.
Yeah, but see, but everybody knows Banana's a hitter. Even if you seen him against his bullshit fights, the dude can hit. That's the one thing you can't take from him.
Charles D, you got a question to you. Grown Man Boxing, where do you get his first full camp from? Where you get that from? That come from
that came from him and his fucking handlers.
Right.
That was him
allegedly, because that's what
that was him in Florida, and he said this was my first full 12-week training camp. Any other training camp was 6 weeks.
Right. Well,
it was broken up.
Grown Man Boxing, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the live, and also Jordan C in the building. Personally, Undisputed puts him in a group with Mayweather, can't be mentioned. Oh, okay, you talking about that? All right.
Matter of fact, what's the shit that was on FS1? Watch the FS1 joint before they fought.
All right. I will move to the next topic, but who gonna step down? It's a 4.
I'll step down.
I actually need to step down as well to go do something real quick.
All right, well,
I'm about to eat too, so I'll step down.
Intangible. I appreciate you, bro. All right, so guys, last fight.
Yeah, I'm gonna step down too.
Okay, thanks, Charles. Thanks for coming on, giving thoughts, fam.
No doubt.
All right, so the last fight, guys, we're going to discuss here that I feel these are the 5 great fights to bring boxing back. This is my opinion. This was a great discussion, guys. You guys gave some valuable info, but here's my last fight. Daniel Dubois, Joe Joyce. So this fight here, guys, was pretty much already written in, and COVID-19 delayed a lot of fights. And you know, it's safe to say that COVID-19 delayed this fight. So I'm gonna let Alistair 49 start off with this one. Joe Joyce, Daniel Dubois, who you think wins, and the probability of this fight happening.
Wasn't this fight already scheduled?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. This fight was already in the books, in the making.
Yeah. So in terms of that, so man, Joy Joyce is good, bro. He's good, but I never really liked him at all, bro. I felt like the dude was just, I don't know, man. Like first he's like 30 something or whatever, 35. So he turned pro really late. And then now he's just getting warmed up. The man's just not really looking nice. He's big, but he's slow. You know what I'm saying? Slow footwork, slow hand speed. And then we got Daniel Dubois, who's on the come up. He's on the rise. And he has his own style. That's what's good about him, yo. I think he's only like 21 or 22. So this guy's on the rise, and he has some heavy power. This is exactly what Daniel Dubois needs to take his game to the next level, because as soon as he turned pro, everybody was talking about, this guy could be the next world heavyweight champion of the world and all that stuff. And I've seen it too, man, because the dude was knocking out people. Even though they were bums, they were still knockouts, bro. And it was brutal knockouts, not just regular knockouts. And I feel like he's moving at the right path and at the right pace as well. So that's definitely what he has. I think he might just get a knockout, bro, because I don't think George Joyce really has nothing for him, bro. Like, he's not special as Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois is more special. He's gotten more KOs. He's looked better, like physically. In the actual contest, he's looked better. When Joe Joyce faced competition, you saw what happened, bro. It wasn't that impressive. So that was a big turnoff for me already. Plus he's 35, y'all. So even if he wins this fight, he's on the way down soon. Think about it. Like, look at all the champions right now. They're in their primes, like Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua. Those people are in their primes. This guy's like really late. So that's why you would want to see. That's why you would also want to see Daniel Dubois win, for those reasons as well, to help bring boxing back.
I got you. Well, pretty good breakdown. And Dubois winning, I think you're gonna have a lot of people agree with you on that. Get this smoke. Get out the chat. What you think, man?
Yeah, no, I was listening. I know you walk and chew bubble gum. You know how I do.
I know you
above average intelligence and all that.
You out there.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, these two guys are well matched. It's time to do it. For the reasons that he said about Joyce's advanced age, and Dubois already had a bunch of tune-ups. What's the point of getting another? They might as well mix it up. But it does come into play how far COVID how long this hiatus is lasts, right? So if it's in the next few months, next 2-3 months, yeah, I think it's a high probability that we get it next. They don't really need tune-ups. That's where they are in their careers, right? And then who wins the fight? I still have Dubois showing me something that I've never seen from him before, winning the fight, right? Not in the sense of he digs down deep and makes a change, because I've seen him do that. It's just whatever he's going to come up with that beats Joe Joyce, it'll be something that I haven't seen from him yet. And that's really what it is. I think Dubois is still developing and getting better every fight, where I think Joe Joyce, we just see the same Joe Joyce every time.
Facts.
And then it's just about, speed and, agility and versatility. I think there's a few different ways that Dubois can win, whereas I think it's really only one way that Joe Joyce can win. And that's mostly if Dubois is there to be hit.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Good breakdown. Okay, guys. So everybody in the chat, we had a lot of people step down. If anybody wants to come give their thoughts on this fight, you can click that link. I just put the link in the chat. We're gonna limit this session to 4 people. But anyway, great points, guys. Alistair, you made some really good points. I will say this, Alistair. I'm very impressed because the age separation, which Alistair brought up, is a very good point. He brought the point up that, like, and this just only goes on who we would want to win for the sake of boxing. I would have to agree with Alistair that we would want Daniel Dubois to win, because, like, as Alistair said, he's 22 years old. He hit that right on the money. He's 22 years old, which means if he wins this, he's on a uphill climb. He can go up from here. He can be one of these champions that could dominate potentially the heavyweight division, because let's be honest, guys, 6 or 7 years down the line, Tyson Fury and those guys are going to be 36, 37 years old. 6 or 7 years down the line, Joe Joyce is going to be 20. Dubois is going to be 27. But then when we look at Joe Joyce, as Alistair said, that motherfucker's 34 years old. He's on a really late track. He's older than Fury and Joshua. He's 34 right now, guys. And he's on a fast track. So if he was to go in there and win versus Daniel Dubois, they have to make things happen for Joe Joyce immediately, because he ain't going to be no 40-year-old man wrecking the heavyweight division. Somebody would have been slept him by then. He's too slow. He has a lot of flaws, but I think that Joe Joyce is doing well for the fact that he started off so late. That's something that people have to keep in mind. The fact that we're even talking about Joe Joyce and what he's shown in boxing, look how late the guy started. But great point, Alistair. I think that most of us would agree that we would rather see a younger, vibrant prospect be a champion than an older prospect, because Joe Joyce is still a prospect, but he's 34 years old. But when it comes down to the probability of the fight, I think that we could get this fight, because like I mentioned in the beginning, there was, like, COVID has delayed or knocked off a lot of fights. And then there was fights that we heard, well, it's not going to happen now, but we haven't really heard this fight canceled. We just know that COVID delayed it, and they were in preparation to fight before. I don't think that there should be any changes. As Smoke said, with the tune-up situation, again, both of these guys are prospects. Everything's a tune-up. You go in to prove yourself at this point. So tune-ups is not really necessary either. And so that brings, to me, this fight at a high probability. And who wins? I pick Dubois too. I picked Dubois to win. I think, as Smoke said, I think he has more tools in the bag that his opponents haven't given us the opportunity to have him pull out. He hasn't need to pull these tools out. Like, if you only need a hammer and a screwdriver, what's the need of going in there for a wrench? You don't need the wrench. You can get the job done with the hammer and the screwdriver. So all of his opponents, he only needed the hammer and the screwdriver. He didn't need the wrench. He didn't need the Phillips head. You understand what I'm saying? He only needed a couple of tools. And Joe Joyce is going to cause him to have to use more. And I think Daniel Dubois can do it. He definitely has the power to get the job done. But as well as Joe Joyce, neither of these guys, in my opinion, has been hit by anyone that's going to hit them like the other guy. That's something that we have to keep in mind. Dan Dubois' chin ain't been tested because he's been running through everyone. So he hasn't been hit by anyone that's going to hit him like Joe Joyce, and vice versa. So it's a very interesting fight, but I lean toward Daniel Dubois too. And as Alistair said, I actually, I don't really have horse in the race, but in the sake of boxing, I don't have a horse in this race but boxing. So for the sake of boxing, I'm with Alistair 100%. I would rather see Daniel Dubois win this. He's young, vibrant. He looks good, has a lot of potential, and he could be a heavyweight that we can follow for the next, 8 to 10 years. We ain't going to be able to follow Joe Joyce for no fucking 10 years. 10 years, that motherfucker will be 44 years old. Damn well he ain't beating nobody if he's even around then. So great points, guys. Great point, Alistair. So, guys, anybody in the chat, if there's anything else you guys would like to discuss before we get off of this, because I think it was a great live, great topics, great contributions by everyone who joined the panel. IBT, Intangible, Harsha, Get This Smoke, Alistair. Did I miss anybody? No. Oh, Charles D, my man, Charles D. And Black Horseman. Shout out to Black Horseman, K. Harvey. And you guys with the super chats. Ring IQ says the straight 1-2 from Danny Dubois. I mean, from Triple D, from the outside coming in, beats Joe Joyce to the punch. Joe is tough, volume puncher, but very slow hands. Danny Dubois steps into his jab beautifully. You know, fuck, that's an excellent breakdown. Excellent breakdown, Ring. I don't have anything to add or take away from that. And of course, I agree with you. I think Dubois takes him out of there. But phenomenal breakdown. Boxing Algarete said, yeah, I also have Christopher Diaz who fought Shakur on today. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, guys, before we go here, Jose brought up Navarrete and Shakur Stevenson. So, guys, these are two fights. We're going to get them. Bob Aaron can make this card happen on the 2nd of July. We're definitely going to see Shakur fight. We just haven't seen Shakur, a guy scheduled for Shakur. But I'm pretty sure, like I said, if it's not Josh Warrington, who is it going to be that's going to bring any interest? If they could find a way to get not Leo Santa Cruz, but Gary Russell Jr. in there with Shakur, hell, that'll be a banger. You know what I mean? But other than that, like, who are they going to get that's talented enough to deal with Shakur? Josh Warrington, to me, was the only one. So whoever Shakur fights, I'm probably pretty much going to pick Shakur. When it comes to Jose Navarrete, Emmanuel Navarrete, I mean, let's be real, bro. Nobody's beating that guy. Nobody's beating that guy. He's not going to get beat until he moves up. That's just my opinion. I don't see anybody beating him where he is now. And then also Jamel Herring was supposed to be fighting Frampton, but that got slammed. So he's fighting some guy Quindo, and that's on July the 2nd too. So we will see Jamel Herring back in action on July 2nd, which I'm actually excited to see that fight too, because that's an interesting division right now too. You know. So,
but I got a question, D. Though, do you think that Josh Warrington can be #1 pound for pound in boxing?
No. The guys that he's fighting against, I don't think he passes them. Especially because they're going to continue to, like, Monster Nui, the Casemiro fight was called off, but he's going to fight well. He's going to continue to do things. I think that Josh Warrington can seesaw these guys, but then as they accomplish, they'll jump back over the top of them. So say like Josh Warrington gets into a fight, Alistair, with Jose Ramirez first before these other guys do things, and then he goes 4-belt undisputed, then yes, I think that there will be an argument and a few people would put him pound for pound, but you have to realize Lomachenko has the opportunity because him and Teofimo's back on. Monster Nui has the opportunity to go 4-belt. You see what I mean? And if these guys get it, they're going to jump right back over Josh Warrington. You see what I mean, Alistair? So he could potentially get up there, but I think it'll be short-lived if he makes it. You know what I'm saying? Because the other guy.
Yeah, because I'm really asking, right? Because I'm really asking you. I'm really asking you if do you think he's going to lose to like anybody?
No,
right now.
No. Not at 140. I picked him over Ramirez. I think it's a hell of a fight. Because Jose Ramirez is a live dog. So nobody don't think he's going to go in there and watch Jose, because that's not going to happen. But I do think that Josh will pull that fight out. And anybody else at 140, the only person I gave a chance to beat him, which still has a potential chance to beat him in a rematch, is Regis Prograis. That was the only guy that I thought could beat Josh anyway, which I think a rematch between those two guys would be great, but I don't think anybody, Maurice Hooker, forget about it. Ramirez washed him, so that should pretty much tell you what Josh or Prograis would do to him. I don't think, you know what I mean? So who beats him? That's the question. Who beats him at 140? Josh is not going to be beaten until he moves up to 147.
What about the guy that beat Regis?
That's Josh Taylor.
Oh yeah, Josh Taylor, man. What do you think about Josh Taylor?
So Taylor beats Hooker, he beats Regis, he beats Ramirez. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, he beats all of them.
Oh, okay.
Y'all hold on for a second. I'm on a live. I'm gonna just turn it down. All right, but yeah, that's my kid. They got me on the down group chat shit. But yeah, man. That Josh Taylor's a real dog, and I think that he could go up, but he could leapfrog if he gets his 4-belt undisputed first. First, he has to be the first one to do it, because if Loma gets it, or Nui gets it, or Canelo racks up a unification or some shit like that, forget about it, bro. Forget about it. Because if, say, like Canelo goes and he racks up unification at 160 or 168, the fact that he's done so much and he's up there so high, even if Josh does get 4-belt undisputed, are we going to say that's enough to put him past Canelo, and Canelo has yet unified in another fucking division?
Definitely not, especially
right. Or if Lomachenko goes in there and beats up Teofimo Lopez and then he gets, do we put him past Lomachenko? No. If Monster Inouye goes 4-belt undisputed before Warrington, do we put him before Monster Inouye? Or even if he gets 3 belts, like, that still would be an argument. So, like, the kid, he's done a lot and he looks impressive, but to put him pound for pound number 1, it's it's kind of tough for him because of the guys he has to face. And I didn't even fucking mention Crawford. Let's say that Crawford gets his wish and he gets in there with Spence and he beats Spence. Fuck if he goes 4-belt undisputed, just going up there and beating Spence and having 3 belts. Josh Warrington's not passing Crawford because Crawford's already been 4-belt undisputed at 140. And now he's moved to 147 and would collect 3 belts. We put Josh Warrington over Crawford? No way. So it just depends on the timing of everything. If he can get that. I will say this, Alistair. Josh Taylor has a better chance of getting 4-belt undisputed before any of these guys. I think that everybody can agree with that. Jose Ramirez and Josh Taylor, Casemiro and Inouye was already canceled, right? So that was part of his road to 4-belt undisputed, right? Spence Crawford, forget about it. Fuck, we've been wishing to get this fight anyway. So what's the other? Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez. That right there is the wild card for Josh Taylor. Because Lomachenko, even though Teofimo is my guy, I picked Lomachenko to win that fight. Lomachenko wins that fight, and he's sitting there with 3 belts and the franchise champion, but we can't put Josh Taylor over him. Not in my opinion. We couldn't. So it's just all about
the problem with Josh Taylor being undisputed is the same problem that Loma has with being undisputed. Bob is not looking for an undisputed.
Yep. That's a fact. That is a fact. Because he said it so many times. He despises undisputed. He despises them. Because when they get all the belts, guys, this is what we got to understand. And I'm going to come to defense of Bob Arum on the business side of it, okay? And this is the point he's making. When they get, you got damn right, Charles D. T.O. all day. I don't know what you're talking about, but damn right, Teofimo. But when you get 4-belt undisputed, right? The sanctioning fees from every fucking sanctioning body of those belts you hold, every time you fight, you got to pay all of those motherfuckers. That's number 1, okay? So for the business side of it, that's the first reason Bob don't like fucking one of his champions holding all of those belts. Second reason that Bob doesn't like it is because when you acquire all of those belts, and it always happens, as soon as you acquire all 4 of those belts, your hand starts to be forced because every sanctioning body wants you to premiere a fight for them. So your hand starts to be forced because of these fucking mandatories come from everywhere. Now you got to fight this. No, you can't fight all the fucking mandatories at once. So now you're in jeopardy of being stripped of everything that you just accomplished. So it's basically like accomplishing this great feat just to deal with a bunch of fucking problems after you accomplish it. So on the business side of it, Bob Arum's like, fuck 4-belt undisputed. And if you look at it from the perspective of business, you can't blame him, right? He's a promoter. He's in it to make money. So that's bad business for him. It's good for the fighter and their legacy, and what it means for them. But for business, for Bob's money, that's bad news for him. So that's the thing with Full Belt Undisputed. All of us want it as fans, but the business side of it doesn't really support, you know, the glory, so to speak. So with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and shut this one down. I think that this was great. I think this is great. You guys can, everybody out there, you can be comfortable that you can tune into this on a daily basis, Monday through Friday. We're going to have Speak Your Mind Sports Talk Daily Live. Okay. So appreciate everybody coming out. Great topic. Alistair 49, get this smoke. You want to give some closing thoughts right quick, Alistair?
Yeah, man. So, I mean, it's great that, you know, we're continuing to, you know, keep the sport alive and all that, especially what's going on right now, you know. So, even though we can't watch it right now, we can always have a good discussion. All right. So, yeah, with that being said, everybody, hope everybody's good. So, you take care.
All right. Appreciate you coming on, Alistair. You're always welcome. My man, get this smoke. Give me some closing thoughts, bro. You there, Smoke? All right, we might have lost Smoke. But hey, get this smoke. I appreciate you coming on, man. Appreciate you coming on, giving your thoughts. Charles D, I appreciate you coming on, giving your thoughts. Unbiased or Biased Boxing Talk. Harsha, Intangible Boxing, IBT Boxing. I appreciate all you guys coming up here, sharing and giving your thoughts on today's topic. Everyone in the chat, Queen Lisa, Carlos, Lawrence Williams in the building. We have my man Gun Rights out there, El Jefe Soccer Training Club, Wasi Rodman. Man, you guys showed out and showed up today. We had a whole bunch of people, and I hope I don't, you know, Toby Bartlett, all of you guys, I appreciate everybody coming through. Y'all know how I always in this thing. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. Peace.